May stepped out of the clinic the way she always did, measured, contained, as if nothing had been decided inside those white walls. 10 years of weekly sessions had trained her well. Sit, speak, analyze, leave. This time, though, something had shifted. The prescription slip rested in her coat pocket, thin as a receipt, heavy as an accusation. Antidepressants. Finally. The word treatment echoed in her mind with a dull, bureaucratic finality, as if the conclusion had been obvious all along and she had simply taken too long to agree. She didn't feel sick. She felt tired of being told that meaninglessness was a symptom. Outside, the city moved as it always did. Traffic, humming, pedestrians negotiating space with practiced indifference, sunlight bouncing off glass and impatience. May walked 2 blocks before allowing herself to stop thinking, ducking into a small cafe she'd passed 100 times but never entered, the kind of place that smelled like burnt espresso and quiet resignation. She ordered a coffee she didn't particularly want and sat by the window watching the street. Then, slap. The sound was sharp enough to make her flinch. A flyer smacked against the glass, held there for a suspended second by static and chance, its corners trembling. May blinked, heart kicking. She leaned forward. Before you medicate your pain away, let philosophy try to identify the source of the pain. She stared at it, read it again, and then she laughed. Not a polite exhale, not a cynical smirk. A real, sudden burst, loud enough to earn her a look from the barista. She covered her mouth, shoulders shaking, half in disbelief, half in something dangerously close to relief. Of course this would happen today. She took out her phone and snapped a picture, the flyer still clinging to the glass like it had chosen her deliberately. A moment later, a passing gust peeled it away. It cartwheeled down the sidewalk, narrowly missing a stroller, then vanished into the city, off in search of its next victim. May finished her coffee in silence. She didn't call that day, or the next. But the image stayed. The timing, the audacity, the way it had named her resistance without knowing her at all. A week later, standing outside the clinic again, prescription still unfilled, she stopped walking. She took out her phone. "Hi," she said when the line picked up, voice steady but unfamiliar even to herself. "I'd like to schedule an appointment, as soon as possible." The office was not what she expected. Jacob was younger than she'd imagined. No tweed jacket, no silver beard, no theatrical gravitas. Just a man who looked irritatingly present, observant, grounded in a way that made her immediately aware of how much she lived in abstraction. He greeted her warmly, without ceremony. "Coffee?" he asked. She surprised herself by saying yes. "A latte, please." They sat at the desk, the cup warm between her hands. Behind them, separated by a glass wall, a woman, his secretary, his wife, worked quietly, her presence oddly stabilizing. Not hidden, not apologetic, just there. May took it all in. This wasn't therapy, this wasn't treatment. And for the first time in 10 years, she felt something that hadn't come from analysis or diagnosis. Curiosity. She met Jacob's eyes, exhaled, and sat forward. "Okay," she said. "Explain to me why you think philosophy can do what medication can't." Outside, the city kept moving. Inside, something finally began.